Invasion angle.
Invasion angle.
It's time.
Part 16. Episode 16 or part 16?
Yeah,
What's the difference, right?
whichever you want to use, I think makes sense. But yeah, if you notice, Chris isn't here yet. We've
Yeah.
had a bit of a crazy March. There's been some madness, gotta say.
Yeah, he was from what I could understand, violently attacked and been kind of getting chased down by El Gringo a lot.
Sounds
So
about
I was
right.
on the phone with him, and all of a sudden I just heard like it's I think someone's at the front door, and I heard like kind of a scuffle, and then I haven't heard anything. So it's a long weekend. I hope nothing crazy goes on, and we can get him in here, and El Gringo, leaves him alone. But
Yeah, that's all we can really hope for.
but be there in 2 minutes. Yeah, so our hearts go out to him because we don't. Episode 17 is supposed to be pre-Mania, but I guess we can fit in an RIP Chris episode,
Yeah, hopefully,
in memory.
hopefully we can find his remains because I know that El Blanco and El Gringo are
Yeah,
they're pretty thorough. They get rid of everything.
I actually just got somewhere that Chris is actually about a minute from being in here. He was able to fend him off.
No way.
Yeah, that Brian Kelly just told me in my ear.
Thank God. That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah. You have him in your ear too?
yeah.
He doesn't really
He
tell
know,
me anything helpful. He just
yeah. Even when I take my headphones out, I still hear him. So I don't know what's going on.
So what happened on Raw?
Raw. Well, dude, this was Raw. I mean, you're gonna have to watch it in its entirety. It was. I mean, I would say the matches were solid. You know what I mean? But just the whole presentation, everything they've been pushing towards since Triple H took over towards like more TV mature era, and yeah, just like you saw. I mean, you saw the clips of like the unedited version of The Rock just using the F word and doing whatever the fuck he wants. So that was pretty cool. And
Yeah. So what was like the deal with that? Because he posted that whole thing about like it was kind of
yeah,
interesting what he was saying, you
yeah,
know?
he's no, well, that's what's really cool. And like, yeah, well, that's where I figured we start with The Rock and get into that because it's really interesting that IG post because it's not only is he like posting as a heel, but he was actually saying actual political and like worldly shit in there. But like I guess guy, in the guise of a heel, but like actually kind of saying it though, and like
Yeah.
first actually showing his actual beliefs for once, which is it's so that was like really kind of cool because it's like work shoot for him straight through. He's a sicko. I mean, I love
Definitely.
it.
I like the
But yeah,
keeping up of kayfabe, you know. It's kind of like insane to see
yeah,
nowadays, but it's pretty
it's
cool.
well, I mean, it just I think like everyone's so kayfabe's dead. Like that's I mean, I think it's been more alive kind of than it has been in a while, just because wrestlers realize how to use social media and to turn that into kayfabe with which as far as like you're
Yeah.
following their lives every day kind of
Yeah.
thing. So like,
There's a
and they're
totally
always kind
added
of
layer.
yeah.
Like, I
So as long
mean,
as they have to stay half character, you know what I mean? They
yeah.
to say some things that are real, but then there's always drama going on in the wrestling world. So it's
Yeah.
like as soon as there's some drama between two people, you throw them in a match or you have an angle with them, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's gold. So it's like you just have so many more possibilities of angles at all times because there's always people like shoot or working on social media between each other and posting, and yeah,
Yeah.
you can post a promo every fucking day if you want, like, and talk to your fans. So it's just like
Yeah.
you can
Being in
create
the
your own
internet age,
storylines. Yeah,
it definitely makes the drama more tangible too, you know? It's like you
yeah,
also, there's the parasocial level to it, and that's why people tackle Seth Rollins and Bret Hart and stuff like
yeah.
that. Because
Oh,
it gets scary,
I
the
thought those were
layer.
works.
Well, and that's what's even crazier is who knows
Yeah,
anymore. Nah,
you never know with Bret, dude. You can't trust Bret Hart.
yeah,
He was
dude, I
just.
still don't know about the screw job. Scott Hall, he really was.
I feel like Shawn Michaels probably just like sent that guy and he's like, hey, yeah. Bret's coming on in 5 minutes. You're gonna want to tackle him.
Good
Fucking the
old
Rasta
Sean.
man, dude. That was so weird seeing live.
Yeah,
It's like, of course.
that was a very bizarre thing to see.
Yeah, that was demonic. So going into The Rock, so he started
Yeah.
Raw off with a face-to-face promo with Cody, and they had no mic, and like he was just The Rock mouthed something to him, and like I rewinded back because everyone on social media right away is like, oh, what the fuck did he say? And they're all saying like weird stuff, and like you can like kind of hear it almost too because the camera's in like faint, whatever, or maybe it's just like he mouths it so perfectly that it's very easy to read. But he's like basically said, I'm gonna make you bleed tonight, and then leaves the ring, and I was like, that's fucking dope, and that's it. And then like the show goes on for another 2 hours and 39, 2 hours and 40 minutes. And then all of a sudden you forgot about all that fucking shit. Everyone on social media saying he's gonna make him bleed tonight. You just forget about it all. They rip through the matches and shit. And then the main event was Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
That's sweet.
So Jay was dealing with Solo, and fucking Jimmy showed up. Roman wasn't there. But yeah, so they were both there lingering all night. So they're trying to fuck with his match. And then Cody and Seth are, coming out to save, Jay and fight the bloodline off. But then Drew's showing up too to be a psycho with Seth. So it's it was all this crazy shit going on, and then The Rock comes in the back and starts just whooping Cody's ass, and then takes it outside. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna make him bleed, dude. And there hasn't been forced color on Raw in a very long time, or just in general, And Cody's the guy that loves to get color, so he was like, sign me the fuck up. And yeah, so he just got his ass kicked outside by The Rock, and it was raining out, which made it kind of even cooler.
Chris is realizing that we started the episode without him.
I'm trying to sign in the Zoom, but it's not working. What is
Brian
happening?
Brian Kelly said that we got Chris back. Yeah. Where are you hiding? Okay, good. Because I know Gringo has been basically
Hello?
chasing you. It was like a slow mo. You're like in morph mode. Your voice sounded okay though.
Yeah, I traded El Gringo Scott Demore, and I got free.
Oh, okay.
So
I can't tell if El Gringo is just using some really crappy AI for your video screen, so we think that you're still alive or not.
We've got some technicals today, but listen, we've been living in the March Madness.
yeah, I
But
think
yeah,
it's shit the bed.
yeah. Well, I'm glad that fucking El Gringo's gone and he's done messing with all of the mechanicals of our system. But we had some interference also from my attacker too. Mr. Cancellation himself.
El Wahoo, what was
Fucking
his
El
name?
Blanco. El
El
Blanco.
Wahoo.
Yeah.
The Cleveland
He's been
Guardians
hacking,
mascot?
dude. He has been hacking my phones. He has been just doing this destructive stuff. So I would consider he's probably behind the technological stuff.
That makes sense.
He's probably the one who killed your Instagram. Your old one, yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
original.
well, currently I can't like anyone on Instagram.
Really?
So you can't follow
yeah.
anyone or like their stuff even.
I can't follow or like or comment.
I think it's probably because you rapid liked all of those Rhea Ripley ass videos.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
They're
I
giving
think
you a cap.
I don't. Well, yeah, they gave me a cap, and it's just like, why can't I just like all? I mean, it's how I feel. Like, what if you're just some people like a lot of stuff, Like that's where I'm disconnected with it with Zuckerberg and his fucking
Mm-hmm.
his dystopian fucking social media world, dude.
It's too controlling.
Just let us like stuff.
You have to come clean here. I'm coming in completely blind into this week's World of Wrestling.
So you haven't even watched
I
Dynamite?
still have yet to see Dynamite.
Light the
ready for the
fuse.
spoilers?
Well, that's gonna be awesome, honestly.
I
'cause
haven't had time. Yeah.
You'll have a really cool perspective, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're gonna have.
I gotta say, I gave it 5 stars
I
and
got home
5
at
popcorn bags.
I got home at 4:40 today, and I was just like, I don't have time to even watch anything.
Yeah. Yeah, our past week has been filled.
Mhm.
I guess we all just had a busy week all at the same time.
Yeah.
But
We're just trying to get shit out of the way for Mania weekend, okay?
Mania week.
There you
So
go.
The whole
yeah,
week.
so we were ripping first Raw, and
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that before.
I was bringing
Gringo,
up
Let Me Go.
Yeah, I was bringing up El Gringo and just talking about the Rock, like how he started the night. Yeah, how Hobbs and like he gave Cody color to end the show, and then after the show went off the air, like he just posted a thing to the Instagram showing like him. He's like, no, it's not clear because the cameraman's like, all right, clear, and he's just like, no, it's not fucking clear. He's like, you turn the cameras off when I fucking say, and then he just keeps beating Cody's ass, and then yeah, and I just thought it was so fucking method of him, and I appreciated it, and I think he started doing method during. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Tooth Fairy or Journey to Center Earth 2. Journey
It
or
was
or
somewhere
Journey
along
2.
that
I don't
along
fucking
the
know.
line.
It might have been Journey 2, because I was like, wait, is that The Rock? He kept I believed it,
I gotta
you
say,
know?
that movie Tooth Fairy is almost as good as the sequel with Larry the Cable Guy, also produced by WWE.
Yeah.
So
That's
Shit.
thank you,
bangers,
WWE.
blockbusters, really.
And then yeah, another thing that stood out on Raw was Becky punching Dirty Dom in the face, which I don't know if you guys have seen the slow-mos or
I
all
saw
the
the
other.
gif. I saw the gif of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because like he just let her actually punch him. You know what I mean? Because they knew it
Yeah.
would be a fucking awesome clip too, and they could slow mo it. And McAfee was slow moing it, and circling it and talking about taking big old dumps and when
Mhm.
all the shit he does all the time, which is great. Love the
Typical.
energy. And then another thing that stood out to me is like R-Truth continues to be fucking hilarious. He was just commentating during like the Judgment Days match that they had, and yeah,
Mhm.
they all came out to like beat his ass after the match, and he's like, go to commercial," like acting like he's like in a TV show, and like if you go to commercial, like it'll change to a different scene when he gets back or something. You know what I mean? It'll
Yeah.
save
Yeah.
him, and
Yeah.
like, so I was like, I really appreciate that deep comedy on that. That's fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
And yeah, and it just still seems like kind of what we're talking about prediction wise, like Damian Priest is definitely slowly working his way out of Judgment Day. And I mean, I don't know, Drew McIntyre has taken his place would be fucking dope as fuck. Especially if he wins the title at Mania, they'll be like, yeah, mommy wants you
Wait,
in the crew.
and that'll like set up a cash in thing.
Yeah, I could see, or if Judgment Day fucks his cash in or something. That's why I'm wondering, are he uses the cash in just to cash in for a match? Because people have done that before. I can't remember who, but like instead of just like doing some like,
Braun Strowman did that.
yeah, that's right. Where he's just like, I
Mhm.
just want, yeah, because he kept faking that cat. That was like annoying as fuck. Is they faked that cash in like 5 million
Mhm.
times,
And then
and
he
then we got,
lost.
yeah, and then we eventually got the greatest
Yeah.
triple threat match of all time with
Mhm.
Brock, Kane, and Braun Strowman. The fuck,
No,
and like they were
that
just
was way that
that was
was way
after
before
that,
that.
right? That was way,
That's
yeah.
way before that.
That's when we first started getting into wrestling, and I'm just
I'm
like,
pretty sure the way the cash in worked was he like challenged, I guess it was Roman at the time, and like it was like a cage match or some shit. And
yeah,
then like at the end of the match, Brock Lesnar came down and like kicked like the fence in or the door in of the cage, and then the match just ended
yeah, that's
like in a
okay, yeah, that's
DQ.
right. Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah,
some
Vince,
bullshit like that.
Yeah.
yeah, Vince at his best for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
I love all the wrestlers just talking about like AJ Styles, Vince. I saw like last week talking about like how much better it is for wrestlers in general that he's gone and Triple
Mhm.
H is running the show. But yeah, those are kind of the big things of Raw. Like it was super over with me. Andrade wrestling, and he looked fucking great. He took on Giovanni Vinci and
Mhm.
spanked his PP right off. But he looked awesome for
He'll
sure. And
probably get
like,
mhm. He'll probably get more time after Mania, like a real story.
yeah, but like, and I fucking love when wrestlers first come over from whether they're coming from AEW to WWE or WWE into
Mhm.
AEW, and like they still have like he still had that AEW style a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and I felt like I was
Yeah.
watching. It was like when Cody first came in and wrestled Rollins. It was like you felt like you were watching something you shouldn't be able to see because he still was kind of doing like an AEW type match mixed
Mhm.
in with WWE, and they were kind of making this hybrid, which was cool as fuck. And like so that was my favorite match tonight, honestly. And Ricochet beat
Mhm.
JD McDonough, Candice LeRae beat Ivy Nile, like
Mhm.
just kind of those thrown in. Bronson Reed was versus Sami Zayn was good. Sami Zayn lost because Walter, aka Gunther, keeps getting in his head. Yeah. Remember all the people
So
that cried so bad about Walter changing? I mean, I thought it was funny.
is that the Mania match? Sammy Gunta?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for the IC
Okay.
title. Yeah. Which I mean
I
it would
didn't I
make
didn't know that
sense
was
for
gonna
Sammy to
change
win.
or something.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people were talking about triple threats for a while, but I think Triple H
Yeah.
just wants a lot of matches that are 1v1s and they're fucking I
Ooh.
think it's 5 matches a night, I believe. I believe it's 10 total matches they have set up. Um,
Are they doing a
but
triple
I think
threat
it
with Logan Paul?
no, it's just Logan versus
I thought it was
why
Kevin
can't
and Randy.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was a triple
is it a
threat.
okay, it is Kevin and Randy now? I don't know if that was
I don't
like
know. I don't
secured yet.
know.
I think
That's
it
what I
might have
thought
been
it was. I
rumored.
don't
I
know.
don't know if it's
We
been announced.
could be wrong. I don't know. I kind of prefer Mania when it was 19 matches straight.
Yeah. I mean, was that like we were at the longest that was the longest mania ever, right?
It was ridiculous too. We were sitting down from like it was like 5 p.m. the pre-show started, and we didn't leave till
Yeah.
12:30 at night.
I know.
That's
I
7.5 hours.
Well, you know,
That's a whole shift.
yeah. We did a full shift that
and we
day
didn't
and we
even
had to
get
pay for
paid.
it. Yeah, we had to
Yeah,
pay to buy $19 fucking drinks and
it
Yep.
was
$15 French fries.
crazy.
Yeah. It was the last ever single day mania though, right?
Yeah, no,
Which
Yeah.
is
yeah, because
yeah, right.
that was right before COVID.
That was 19, right? Yeah. So I mean it was pretty epic in that regard.
Yeah.
That yeah, we saw it on the way out and like I
Mhm.
but yeah, that was insane. 7.5 fucking hours. Like I mean Tony's come close though. Fucking they give him credit.
He
He's
has, yeah.
there's been some
Hmm.
dynamite
He's
fucking
at
things
four and a
where
half,
yeah,
5.
uh we
We
all
saw
got
Blue we saw Blue Tista get retired.
yeah, and Kurt the same
Blutista.
night.
And Kurt Angle, yeah.
Yeah, 2 retirements in one night
And
and
Michael Che and Colin Jost get retired.
yep,
Yeah,
Braun took him out, dude.
permanently.
Mhm.
And but he made them
Who
better
else
because
signed up?
they well we saw Cardona and Myers get the tag
Oh
titles.
yeah, yeah.
That started out the show, and that was super
Hmm.
over with everybody. It was like a 2 minute match. Like what the?
It
Would
was,
they even
yeah,
take
all
them
of them
off
were.
again?
It was a revival.
It was. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And then
That's
it was
right.
like Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy, and Tony Nese got the win in his hometown or home state
Yeah, that's a rampage match
or
for
or
sure.
home tri-state, I guess.
Yeah, that is
He's from
100%
he's from Long Island.
rampage.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he is.
then yeah, then
And
it was the Andre the Giant Battle Royales.
yeah, yeah, and that's where Che and Yost are in, and then Braun
Yeah,
won
that
that, right?
and
Was
then
that the
Carmelo
year that
won.
they wanted to do a
That's right.
Fabulous Moolah battle royale and then
And
they
they
canceled
switched
it?
it.
They
No, and then
changed
they
it to
made
May
it.
Young.
They
Yeah,
just made, yeah. No, I think they just made it something else. Because
I
isn't it the
May
Mae
Young
Young
Classic.
Classic?
Yeah.
yeah, Mae Young Classic. Yeah,
So I don't know what the
This.
Battle Royal was called because it was the Moolah. It was something like that.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if it was
I
a
can look
battle
it
royale.
up.
I just knew it was like
It was
right on.
because I know
yeah,
feel like Naomi won it once and Carmella won it once.
yeah.
I'll look
That
it up.
sounds right. But yeah, that's Raw. That's Mania. We're
Women's
gonna be doing
WrestleMania Battle Royal.
our Mania predictions next week, which I think we'll be pretty on point, like we have been on our previous pay-per-view prediction.
Hmm.
We have
Definitely better than my
insider
March
knowledge.
Madness. We do. I I throw $20 to the guy that cleans up the loads in the showers, and
Yep.
yeah, get good shit.
Yep. You're gonna know exactly what color the underwear that Cody Rhodes wears for both nights.
Yep, exactly, and
So
where
that those betting
exactly,
odds, I don't know.
and the how big of shit stains he has.
Yeah,
The
so
CM Punk.
it was called the Moolah, and then it got backlash, and they changed it, and
Yeah.
now now they just called it the
Uh,
Women's Battle Royal.
yeah, because they realized he was pimping out fucking chicks
Yeah.
in her wrestling school.
Yeah.
A lot of that going on in the pro wrestling world. Going on
It's
in the
true.
Diddy world too. Bunch of fucking
Yeah.
Diddies out
Which
there
makes
and
sense because
Ain't
Diddy
Vinny's.
no
was
ain't
at
no
that
party like a Diddy
WrestleMania. Not the
party.
one we went to, but a different one.
Yeah, Vinny and Diddy picks been very popping off on social media for sure.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Perverts. Um, Yeah, so I figured
Perverts.
before we go to Dynamite, did you guys check out any of the Dark Side of the Rings?
I did. I watched them both. Chris watched neither.
Dude, I was going to, but
Chris hates
I
wrestling
didn't
this
have
week.
time.
Hey,
Hey,
dude, well,
listen,
Dude, I'm sorry, guys.
what were you
the
doing? Are you gonna plug? Do you have something to plug?
Yeah, IKEA in Philadelphia. I
I
was
can't.
helping Mike return a couch today.
Hell yeah.
Did you have
And
any of their meatballs?
no, but I I put my fingers on his Riho action figure.
Thank God. I'm glad you made it no longer.
He
It was
deserved
unclean.
it.
Yeah, it deserved the filth.
Hmm.
But yeah, the past two Dark Side of the Rings, the Terry Gordy one was a million times better than the Brutus one, and probably the best one of this season so far, I would say, right? Am I
Yeah,
going out?
Hmm.
it was pretty amazing.
And we got some Von
Yeah,
Erich stuff in there too.
Yeah, it
So
was definitely a more emotional one, at least in my like I feel like you can definitely like empathize with Terry Gordy way more than you can with someone like Brutus the Barber.
yeah, well, Brutus was just like a Hogan's henchman. I thought like they all said like, they made it seem like he was less. Like, no, he was like a pretty badass henchman for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to,
I
cut
like him.
down what he achieved, but it doesn't seem like he really, I don't know, he's not one of those wrestlers that really cares about the craft, I feel like. He's just a wrestler that is in it to kind of have a meal ticket and
Uh, well,
parties,
it seemed like it seemed like early on. I mean, he was pretty sound in ring, and I think like
Fair.
that probably carried him a little bit. That he was like at least he's always like a decent worker. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
yeah, at least had that going for him. And like but yeah, there's tons of wrestlers that were more talented than him that should have got bigger pushes in the bigger companies, like Terry Gordy, for instance, like
yeah.
but yeah, Brutus's one could be like summed up in like 3 minutes, really. It was like it's basically like Missy Hyatt, like, yeah, I'm his friend, but then they also just say like and his friends in it, like, yeah, but he's like basically the guy that holds Hulk's bags. and then and
But
then it
they're
cuts
all
to
trying to
Brutus.
give him
Yeah.
credit
They
too,
do, but they kind of go back and forth, and it's like
Yeah.
they're like, we love this guy, but yeah, you know what?
Well, it's
Like,
like I guess that just kind of shows you can go both ways. It's like not everyone that enters the ring is going to become a legend.
yeah. Well,
But
then,
Yeah,
like
like, well,
also
Sean Spears.
yeah, perfect 10, dude.
10.
That's
I give
they,
that a
dude.
10.
Joe Gacy talking about NXT's past week. He threw a chair like off the fucking, I don't know, off some balcony onto the street, and it really upset Sean. I think he's like, I really hope they do the thing kind of like Men in Black when like they step on like the bugs, it like hurts the guy. Like anytime people hurt the chairs, he's like, oh fuck,
That's pretty good.
the fuck did you?
He is a
Yeah,
chairman.
yeah. So he's got some
It's like
going
a
on Joe
voodoo.
Gacy. So that's cool at least. But yeah, back to Brutus. Yeah, it was funny because when it cut to him, he's like, yeah, like I did hold like Hulk's bags because he trusted me with his bags and his gimmicks, as he said, his money and his drugs were in there, and
Yeah.
he's like, I was happy to do it, and he's like, Hulk took care of him, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And
It's his
Bischoff,
childhood friend.
yeah, and then Bischoff said he was the called him the Hogan tax because like if you because you had to yeah. Who do you think?
Also,
Who do you think is like a Hogan tax today in modern day
uh,
wrestling?
I don't
Sean
want to
Spears.
say, yeah, Sean
Yeah,
Spears,
Hogan
dude.
tax.
He was a Cody Rhodes tax.
Yeah, he's the Cody tax,
Yeah, well, it's kind
the
of
Phantom
funny
tax.
because Jericho reminds me of like a lot better version of Hulk Hogan in WCW, like as far as his run being older. And Luther is kind of like
Yeah,
was a Jericho tax. He was, but
Yeah,
Luther has panned out
but
to do cool shit though, and he can
Luther's a
yeah,
actually do
king.
gimmicks. Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
Yeah,
why, like, to me, like Jericho and Luther are the ultimate versions of Hulk and Brutus done the right way. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Jericho still
I
puts
can see
himself
that.
over a lot, but he still puts over other people, and he actually fucking wrestles in the ring, dude, and cares
Yeah.
yeah.
still.
And he has
You
a pretty good
know,
gimmick, the way he like shrieks at people, like before he was the butler.
it, dudes, I've loved
Oh,
Luther the whole
Luther.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I
Sorry.
That's what I'm
Not
saying. Like, cause
not Zodiac or the
yeah,
man with no name or whatever the fuck
yeah,
Brutus
because
was
he
called.
probably wouldn't have got the look without Jericho, but he's lived up to it, and like he's earned that fucking spot.
Hmm.
So like, I just I just always feel like they've done the right. That's why like AW people compare it to WCW, and they kind of throw themselves in there too because they make comparisons and like brought back WCW commentary team and all that shit. But like it's being done more the right way. Some of this like similar mistakes are made, but those are made across wrestling companies as far as like everyone trying to stay over and veterans and young guys like
Yeah.
and leveling all that shit out. And yeah, I don't know. So I've always said like, Brutus is his chill. It's whatever to me. I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
like,
not gonna hate on him,
but
but
yeah,
there are things about him that I definitely don't respect for sure.
cringe. Yeah,
Like the
for
thing,
sure.
not that this is one of those examples, but just because this was like a big part of it was like the thing when he was not doing great, didn't really have any jobs, and I don't think Hulk was cool with him anymore. He wasn't wrestling
Yeah,
anymore, and he started working at the Boston like train
yeah,
as like a
yeah.
conductor, and
Because they used to do that.
he left a bag of cocaine and he like lies about it in the Dark Side, and he
Yeah, he
says,
still
yeah, it
lies.
was some like headache medicine, and then it
Yeah, it was
cuts to Greg the
aspirin.
Hammer and he's like, it was coke.
It was cocaine.
It
Yeah,
was cocaine.
yeah, by the way, what a tag team. Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. Wow. Terrific.
It is
Yeah, I
kind of a
want
So
cool tag team, dude.
it is, but
They
like
both kind of
uh
look like men, but they both kind of look like your weird aunt, you know?
yeah. But it's just like they don't their movements in the ring, like I Greg is a better wrestler than him though, for sure. You know. Greg was the Shawn Michaels to his Janetti.
For sure.
And just how their careers went too, legitimately.
I don't
Because
have an ad.
Greg got over forever, man.
I don't have an ad today, but I wanted to read a Wikipedia excerpt from Brutus's Wikipedia page in
Yeah,
our
let's hear
little
that.
segment for today. On November 7th, 2013, Leslie appeared as his last name. Leslie appeared at Toronto City Hall with a pair of shears and a submarine sandwich, claiming Mayor Rob Ford needed an intervention in the wake of a high-profile crack cocaine scandal. Leslie offered to be Ford's angel of mercy, saying, maybe if he gets his body right, he will be able to get his mind right. Security escorted him from the property when it became apparent that Leslie was attempting to promote a brand of submarine sandwiches. The day before, a fellow wrestler, the Iron Sheik, also tried to visit Ford and challenge him to an arm wrestling match.
all
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put over a submarine sandwich for sure.
He just has like
Wow.
my pillow guy energy. You know
He
what I
does.
mean?
No, he
Like,
definitely does. Well, dude, if you cringe Hulk out, like what yo, and by the way,
Yeah.
it's so confusing because his like girlfriend that Hulk hates and stuff, like she because she's like a total Yoko, she looks a lot like how Missy Hyatt looks now, and they both got like big grandma milkers, and you're just like going back and forth, and like you get like confused between them sometimes.
I was getting so
And
confused the whole
yeah,
time.
and you're just like, get these grandma milkers off my fucking screen. I'm scared.
I mean, maybe
That's
you're
not,
like
that
that.
yeah, that sounds like a sentence I've never heard before.
It sounds like a you
Yeah.
problem. Anyway,
No, I was more into the cool softcore stuff from like the Buff Bagwell episode. I'm
That's
more of
true.
a I'm more of a, gentleman
I'll s-
caller type guy than a grandma milker. But what can
I'll
you
s-
do?
I'll
yeah.
send you the DVDs.
But
Thank you.
you want to get into Terry Gordy real quick?
Right before Terry Gordy, I was gonna say, before like you were mentioning a thing, so before that they realized it was cocaine, they all thought it was anthrax at
Oh yeah,
the
I
train
forgot to
station.
mention
They
that.
evacuated the whole train station.
Yeah,
Which great,
so and
great.
at least he came out and said, "Hey, it was mine."
Yeah, it
But
was
and
aspirin.
then he went to rehab
But can
right
I get
after.
that? Can I
It's
get that real
aspirin.
quick? Yeah, and then some guy stole all of his money and went to Barbados with it, and that was
His
it.
like business manager, yeah.
Yep,
I
and
think
that was Brutus.
my favorite thing that he said the whole time was like, "Yeah, when I was in WCW, I did so many gimmicks, It really tells you a lot when someone can go from character to character." Like as
Yeah,
if it
he's
was a good thing that he
yeah, but
couldn't do any
well,
of the fucking gimmicks right besides the barber.
yeah, well then he compared himself after that to Mel Gibson because he said
That's
I'm
that's
just
what it
like Mel
was.
Gibson, and then they show the dude from Nasty Boy like fucking what's his name, Stubbs.
Ryan Knobs. Yes, Stubbs.
Stubbs. Yeah, because
They
he's kind
showed
of a
the
piece
other
of
guy
shit.
too.
But yeah,
Jerry. Is his name Jerry?
Stubbs and Tubbs, I think, right?
Okay, for sure.
But yeah, yeah, they fucking. He started laughing. It's just like when he said Mel Gibson, and he's like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, going into Terry Gordy, a better story in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never knew that fucking Jesse and Festus was his fucking son.
Yeah. Which is
That's
amazing.
crazy. I didn't know that.
That
Yeah.
blew my fucking mind. But do you know what
Mhm.
I was thinking about towards the end of the episode that fucked my mind up even more? And I was just like, no, they wouldn't be that evil. But I was like, no, wait, who's doing this? It's Vince. He paired his Terry Gordy's son up with a guy who is brain dead.
Oh my
A
God. His
big dude that's brain
character.
dead. Like
Dude,
literally,
how did I
like
never put that
what the
together?
I never did because I
Because
never
so
fucking
listen,
thought about it, dude.
so some background. After he was with the Freebirds, he went and he had a bunch of injuries, but he wanted to go do Japan. So we did Japan. Terry Gordy was over there, and he actually needed Richard Simmons to like jazzercise train him to get like his tendons
Yeah.
back.
He went from 330 to 265.
Yeah, there you go. And so
Double ACL tear.
he was a fucking unit. But so the Freebirds partied a lot, all wrestlers partied a lot back then. He was tagging with Dr. Death, and he OD'd on Halcyon. I don't know how
Yeah,
to say it.
Halcyons.
H
Yeah.
bombs they used to call them. But
Yeah.
fucking I don't know. He OD'd on the plane, and like Dr. Death had to like resuscitate him. And so essentially, to make a long story short, he ended up having another. Was it that overdose that did it, or was it that one?
So
Was
his
it another
first
one?
overdose, he was alone in Japan, and then the second one is when they were flying back to Japan, like
Yeah.
not too far after that. And the problem is like the plane hadn't landed yet. It took him a while to get off the plane, and like so like that's why he had a lot of brain damage because like the
The
OD not
pressure.
getting oxygen to his not getting the oxygen into his brain as he's like
Mm,
barely breathing and shit. So like yeah, once you overdose or like suffocate or like drown in a pool, like you've only got a certain amount of time for them to resuscitate you, and like every minute you're just losing brain cell after brain cell. So that's
yeah.
why it was insane that he was actually able to make a comeback and like still wrestle pretty well in the ring and do his move sets. And like
Yeah. It
it
was
was just
hard.
sad though because he's
He
just not there anymore.
Yeah, he ended up going to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and Cornette did some pretty good he's always best on Dark Side. He did some talking about it. He was like describing how like he was like, yeah, you're doing the independent circuit, come on down. And he came, and he was like, he's just, there's nothing behind his eyes really, he's like, I
Yeah,
remember he would just kind of like be in a daze, and I would walk up to him and he'd be like, hey boss, you want me to do a power bomb? And he would just be like, sure,
yeah,
Terry, whatever you want to do, buddy.
yeah. And he couldn't do promos really anymore. And then he did a shoot interview in '98 with that famous shoot uh interview company. What is it like back at F's back to back or some whatever it
Something,
is. I don't
something, yeah.
some whatever their symbol is. I have like the Ultimate Warrior signed DVD. I think they did that too.
Mm.
And it's just sad because they ask him like he's like, oh yeah, I like a lot of crazy road stories. He's like, yep, and he just says like, yep.
Yeah, and they're like,
Don't
can
really
you remember
remember.
one? And he's like, not
Uh,
really.
yeah, he just doesn't remember anything. But and then also his daughter wrestles in the Indies currently, Miranda Gordy, which is pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Knocked my water
And
bottle.
then I also had another epiphany watching this because like he's got his nephew who's I think like did some wrestling in Japan and it was kind of like a mid carder and stuff. And he would like go on a lot of the Japan trips with him and wrestle on those events. And his name is Richard A. Slinger. So like, and then I
Urslinger,
realized that
yeah.
yeah. So at the end of the episode, I'm like, wait, like, so is that like is it like a play on his like Dick Slinger? Is that what it's supposed to be
Yeah,
saying, dude?
Richard
that's
Urslinger,
what it
Richard a
yeah.
seems like.
Slinger, right? And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm seeing his name pop. I'm like, oh, like Dick a Slinger, like you fucking
Wow.
touche, dog, touche.
But yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
that the thing you were saying about Jesse and Fest said is kind of brutal. But like also Jesse was going into, I don't know what, I can't remember what his real name is, but he was going into like he didn't want to use his dad's name because he didn't want to like he wanted to do his own thing, He didn't want to
yeah,
like
yeah, which is
do
cool.
anything to his legacy. And but yeah, when Terry Gordy went back to WWF, he was
The Executioner.
yeah. And and they put a mask on him, and he was kind of like a stable with Paul Bearer and Taker, or no, not Taker,
Oh,
Mankind.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just shitty because like, yeah, I mean, the problems too, like he was having, so like, I don't know, Taker just like wasn't really too happy. Oh my God. Is that why you bald?
Chris just sent
Why
me
you bald?
me as Ricochet.
Why you ugly?
Why are you ugly?
Yeah, but yeah, he was like, I don't know, like Undertaker wasn't really happy with his in-ring stuff, but then also Paul Bearer and Mick Foley are like having to like find him while they're on the road because he just started to do drugs and shit again and disappear and just fucking, yeah. So it was just didn't work out. And
He ended up dying from
yeah,
blood clots, I think, right?
yeah, at age 40, yeah, from like a blood clot that killed him. But yeah, like I was looking at his wrestling set and like I guess he kind of probably reminds me of like well, obviously people took it from him, but like people after him that remind me of him, like definitely Mike Awesome a bit.
Yeah.
Like Mike Awesome had to have obviously been in love with his work because like I'm just like fuck, this is
With the power bombs, yeah.
and
And
just dude, he
the
was so
fluid
before his
punches,
time.
you know. That
Yeah,
was what people loved about Terry Gordy, is his punches were like so fluid and like theatrical that it was just like, I don't know.
yeah. Well,
It
that's
looked
what's
really
crazy
nice.
though. What's amazing about him is so when this all happened with the executioner in WWE, you think, okay, his career is over, he's gonna die, you know, just die out on the indies and whatever, which eventually ended up on the indies and stuff, and that kind of happened. But he ended up doing death matches because it, you know, asked for a little less and
And it was
just
called
more
the
hard
first one,
spots.
the first King of the Death match essentially was called the Kawasaki Dream Tournament or something like that.
Yeah, and it just ended up becoming that eventually over time. And
Yeah.
but yeah, he's the one that, and then he ends up becoming because they start calling him the king of the death match. So because as you notice in the later interviews, his fucking forehead is all scarred up, and that's
Bladed
from
to
like a
hell,
lot of the
yeah.
later stuff. So he ends up in that time period becoming one of the best death match wrestlers over in Japan. And this is when he's got, you know, barely anything like in the tank head movie wise, and like he's just so it's
Yeah.
crazy that he had the secondary career where he was pro. And yeah, him and Mick Foley's Cactus Jack had a pretty solid death match.
Yeah.
Which I believe it was IWA was the people that did that. I want to say
Maybe.
that the
Maybe.
Japanese wrestling company that did deathmatch stuff, but yeah, and that's really I would say that, and then you know it was cool looking, you know, always looking at the Von Herrick history with them again too, and getting Dave in there and getting the bros back and any Von Erich stuff, just yeah, it's an added plus. And
Yeah.
then they showed them selling out Texas Stadium, which is fucking insane. And like, I feel like current WWE like diehard fans that don't watch any of your product need to like watch Dark Side of the Ring and this shit and see that yeah, wow, they like other companies can flourish at the same time. Like stadiums were sold out by other people besides WWE back in the day. Oh man, oh me, oh my pumpkin pie.
Yeah, people want to say like, oh well, AEW and other wrestling companies are only flourishing because WWE is flourishing. Chris
It's
is
true,
joking.
man. It's true.
Yeah, Chris is
Chris,
all
don't
for
make the
it.
hook face at me, bro.
I only, I didn't watch AW this week because I was watching too much WWE.
Yep.
Damn.
Here's watching
So
NXT level up.
You're
yeah,
finna
yeah, yeah.
you're done,
WWE's
dude.
betting superstars. Watching superstar
I
episodes
can't
from
wait
the
for the
PG
W.
era.
I can't wait for the W. I can't wait for the WWE Speed Championship.
Yeah.
What?
You hear about that?
What is it?
I don't know. They're doing like matches before we're on SmackDown that are like under 5 minutes.
Those are the ones for X or whatever. They premiere on X.
Oh, that's what it's for. Yeah, yeah.
Remember we were
That's it.
talking about, yeah, I didn't know they were
Yeah,
actually, we talked about that like a million episodes
they're
ago.
making a they're making a Speed Championship, which
That's
sound
cool,
like
dude.
it's just like it's an unfortunate name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was basically what the
Yeah.
world titles were called in the
You're the
80s,
Speed
right?
Champion. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You could have called basically, yeah, every title in the 80s to early 90s the speed titles for sure.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's what I
That's I
mean.
feel like
Because
ECW had a
Speeding.
couple speed champions
Oh yeah,
too.
they had a
yeah,
crack cocaine title for sure.
Tony Khan's
I was
my
the main
Speed
strap.
Champion.
True.
Yeah, Billy Corgan was trying to bring back the cocaine title, but then everyone got pissed about it. So what can you do?
There's gonna be a meme of
Oh
that
yeah,
of
forgot about
Tony
that.
Khan with the speed championship, and they're gonna be like,
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, "Where's my money?"
Yeah, so Dynamite. A fuse was lit.
That's all up to
It was
Jason.
Okay,
yeah, well,
so
I mean,
Dynamite. John watched
it
it.
yeah, it started out with William Osprey,
And
the
Shibata.
17th, which for me, okay, so like I I thought, well, first of all, heading into it, like I know like their new setup, like what the new tunnels look like to me, and it kind of looks like their cock rings. I'm not gonna lie, or like the Uber rings that girls like have.
Is that
So
and that
they don't
bothers
get
you?
pregnant.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't bother
God.
me.
He likes
I
that.
just
It's kind of
no, I
like
know. I was just been trying to
mystical
think,
in
what
that
does
way.
it remind me of? No, it just kept reminding me of something. And then I was in California. I was in the 7-Eleven, and in the 7-Eleven, in like the aisle, I was like, you're waiting. The line was long, so like
Mhm.
as you're in line, you're in the aisle, and they have like the condoms and stuff. And there was like these 4.99 cock rings that were kind of like rainbow tie dye colors like that. And I was just like,
Mhm.
fuck, light the fuse. Like, why do I want to buy
Yeah, we're
this so bad
familiar.
and feel like it's merch? You know, so
Me and
like
Chris have seen
Every
these.
everything clicked in that moment.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah. So I'm no, it's not negative for me. It's cool, you know. Love is love, you know. Throw a
Yeah.
ring on. But yeah, anyway, so I thought the first
Osprey
match was
versus
cool,
Shibata.
but I thought it shouldn't have been the first match. That was my one gripe with it. It's a 19-minute
Nah.
match, over 19 minutes, and it's pure rule type match. Like I don't think you started Dynamite with that, with a lot of different submission type. It's a really good match, but I feel like it would have been better served maybe as the second match or the
I
third,
think
somewhere in the
that
middle.
I think they sandwiched it beautifully. They started the night with that fucking match, which was like insane.
It was really good.
And
I
then
really
they
liked it.
ended
I just
the
didn't know about the placement.
but listen, then they ended the night with Swerve versus Takeshita, which was like, a similar version of that kind of match. You know what I
Yeah, but
mean?
faster and
Yeah,
like a
for
little more
sure.
or less.
For sure.
Yeah. So like I really like the match. I just don't know if that's how I would have started the show as far as because a submission type pure rules feel match that's like around 20 minutes long. Like those matches already feel like longer. So it felt like 35 minutes and I really enjoyed it, but like some parts were getting me a little, yeah. I don't know if that's how you light the fuse to start the show, but I also got it because Osprey, it was a perfect match for him this week because he can't do that fucking hard killer style every fucking week and stay
Mm,
healthy. So it was
yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
to kind of and also show his range and everything. Yeah, I just would have liked it in a different spot. That's all. It was a fantastic match. I loved it, but yeah,
He
it's a small
really
little thing.
he was selling very hard for Shibata. Like, I mean, obviously Shibata does the no sell occasionally, and so does he. But not it's not really a no sell, it's more like a last second. This is how the announcers describe it. They said he got a quick shot of adrenaline. So because like he got hit and then he
Yeah, they
hit
both did the
Shibata in the
one.
head real quick.
Yeah, and then they both
Weird.
did like like the super kickouts like after one like on like top moves between each other too, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it was an awesome fucking match to start the night for sure. And I also want to say that I did pick all the right matches for this, which I think we all would have agreed on the winners of all these matches anyway going into it,
Okay.
right? Were I mean, were you
Mhm.
surprised by any of them? Did any throw you
Um
off? I posted on my IG and I was right about all of them, so I just had to throw that out there to let people know that I'm right. You're wrong. You fucking piece of shit. This brought to you by Celsius Peach Vibe. You're right. I'm wrong. I was the perturbed sick fuck the whole time. Um, but yeah, the second match was I believe the tournament qualifier. Yep, Young Bucks versus Private Party, which was like a rematch because last year Private Party got a snuck a win over them. I guess.
yeah.
That was not last year.
That was at
When
least two
was
years
that?
ago.
That
Mark
was
Quenn's
like
been a while.
that was the like second episode of Dynamite.
Right? Well, because the
It's been
Bucks
a
when they
That was
said
while.
it,
tw- that
they
was
said it like a year
2019.
ago. Yeah, like, that's why I was confused because they said like a year
Wait,
ago.
who got? Yeah, no. Well, maybe they
So
did face
so
a
I
year
thought I
ago.
missed no because when they said that like I was just a year ago. It's just like did they? I was like when did they face some like some in some big match or something? Maybe like when they're I don't know. That's why I
Maybe
was
they did.
confused.
Yeah, maybe they did a year ago. But like, I
That's
thought
the only match I think of.
the match. I thought, yeah, because that's the one where the Private Party beat them in the original tag team tournament.
Yeah, maybe they just said a year ago and they meant years ago or something. I don't know. But yeah, because they're saying like
Maybe,
lightning
yeah.
doesn't strike twice, blah blah blah. And they cut another cool promo, and then Nick's being a
They
hothead
had
like
they
usual.
had to, yeah, it had to be years ago. What you say? What you say his name was?
Nicholas, sorry,
Yeah,
he would have
yeah.
thrown me out of the arena.
That's
The
fucking
last
right, dude.
time they were against each other was like, yeah, easily 2021. Looks like.
Yeah, I don't. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
cool. And
but
then,
yeah,
but
they
of
had to
course
be
they
referring
won.
to that.
Yeah, of course they won. And Okada had an awesome entrance into the arena in his Ferrari, and the title looks perfect. The title was definitely made for him, honestly.
Oh yeah.
and I'm just sure Eddie was so happy to like if he was gonna put anyone over, like that's fucking awesome. That's like dream for Eddie. Like put over Okada, like a Japanese
hmm
great. That's fucking cool
And he's better.
beans.
Eddie's better lose again too.
Yeah, to Mark
Yeah.
Briscoe. Do you think so?
Yeah,
I think that would be cool.
100%.
I think that would be really big for
I think he's
ROH
losing.
being like interesting
Yeah.
moving forward, you know?
Yeah.
hmm
So now the Young Bucks, the EVPs will be against the best friends who also fought on Dynamite and they defeated the Undisputed Kingdom, which of course the
Taven,
Undisputed
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Kingdom fucking
Bennett.
yeah,
Sucks dick.
absolutely. So they lost. And yeah, it'll be them. And then I'm guessing it's gonna be FTR versus Starks and Big Cass on the other end. We'll find out
hmm
after the next few days, but it's looking like an FTR versus EVP finals is
I'm
what
glad Big
I'm
I'm
looking
Show.
at.
predicting. I'm predicting the Infantry versus the Young Bucks finals.
That'd
I
be
would love
cool.
that. I would
So
fuck.
would I.
It would be nice for them to put over some young guns on the other end of the
Yeah,
bracket.
for real.
hmm
I'd appreciate it, but we'll see, right? And I could see. I mean, infantry versus because what do you call it? And this will kind of show like where Starks and Big Cass, like what they're kind of going to do with them going forward. You know what I mean? Like what
hmm
happens with them in this tournament. Yeah, so that tournament will be cool, and that ends at Dynasty, right? It's the name of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, Dynasty.
Yeah.
Okay,
The four-way match
okay.
was pretty good on Dynamite. Anna Jay, or
Who
no, not
won?
Anna Jay. Yes, Anna Jay. Willow
Yeah,
Nightingale. I just don't want to get the names wrong. Sky
my
Blue and Chris Statlander.
yeah, and yeah, Willow won, which I figured
Willow
she
won.
would.
Okay.
She's been hot, you know what I mean? And I
And she's got the history with Sash
yeah,
Mercedes Monet.
yeah, Monet's got to get that W back. That should have never happened in the first place, okay? You fuckers.
Listen,
But
long-term storytelling, dude.
yeah, it is. It definitely is. And that was my second favorite match of the night, or at least yeah, actually my third. All right, it was behind Osprey and them. I'm a piece of shit. Okay, but it was really good. That was a fucking great Fatal Four Way match, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Mercedes
Willow
on
just
commentary.
which was cool, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was dope. And then yeah, it ended with Swerve, Mr. Nana versus Takeshita, and
Easily one of
yeah,
the most insane matches, like,
it was next level. And
in a
that's
little
why it's
bit.
cool. Like it sucks that Takeshita hasn't been put over at with an actual W in a while, but like in a big match. But I think it's easy to forgive with kayfabe power because he puts on such fucking shows. Like the last match with Osprey it's yeah, it's next level. So they need to give him some big wins though in the future. He needs to start establishing that because you know Don Callis' family like is losing its has been we've been talking about for episodes losing their momentum. It's just like what are we doing with these guys? They talk all this shit and then they just show up and they fucking lose. I mean, Fletcher's the only one winning for the squad right now. I mean, Osprey,
No, yeah,
Yeah, I feel like Hobbs hasn't done anything in so long.
yeah, but I just feel like Osprey is like on his way out of there, like you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
sooner than later. So
I think it's just a reason to do these stories, or these
hmm
yeah, no, I mean,
programs.
I fucking love their, you know, I love their stable. So yeah, I just want to see them utilize and the crowd fucking loves Osprey for
And
sure.
people hate Don Callis
Yeah,
because of
he's a
his scary
hero.
song.
Yeah. So But yeah, that leads us in we can rip right into a rapid fire round, which
Okay.
going into all the yeah, I mean, well, I guess we should finish the swerve match, but
Yeah, what happened?
So
because
listen, so they went
yeah,
back and forth like 500 times with like insane fucking finisher type deals.
Yeah,
yeah,
Chris, don't look at me like that.
I'm Bobby De Niro.
um, I don't really know. You're throwing me off guard.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what to. It was a
We got
fucking
to
good match, dude. That's all you
yeah.
need to know.
One of my highlights was Takeshita went for he went for a pop-up power bomb and Swerve reversed into a swerve stomp, which was
Okay.
fucking insane.
Oh, the fucking swerve stomp on the ring apron was so fucked up.
Yeah,
It
that
looked like
was
he might have kind of hit him kind of stiff.
yeah, which is like it's hard not to with like the lack of room he kind of has and just the weird angle and it was fucking yeah, it was awesome. They've been just which they've had to do. Like that's what they're doing. Like the Dynamites are basically like watching a fucking pay-per-view level wrestling event as far as what you're getting in the ring. And
Yeah.
they obviously just don't have as much time as they'd have for a pay-per-view overall for all the matches. But yeah, I mean, and that's their bread and butter and something they have over WWE is that in-ring shit going next level on TV always. So keep tripling, doubling, and quadrupling down, you know. And
Yeah,
Scott Steiner can do that math for me.
and they announced Double or Nothing's back in Las Vegas this year too.
Yeah, I saw that May 26th, I believe.
Something like that. It sucks though, because like last year, like the crowd in Las Vegas was
Kind of
like so
sucked.
fucking quiet for some reason.
Yeah, and
Weird.
they've
Yeah,
been they've been a great crowd in the past too. So that's why it's weird. I don't know. Yeah, like a
yeah.
crowd can fuck up a vibe of an entire pay per view.
Hmm.
It's but
It was
yeah,
fucked.
it was fucked up. But yeah, we have a rapid fire, and we're getting a little early this week because it's long, and there's some rapid things on here that might not be too rapid. But
Jade
I thought
Cargill on SmackDown.
yeah, we can start with that. Jade Cargill
10.
on SmackDown tonight.
10.
I'm guessing, yeah, it's a 10, and I think she's probably, gonna come out and kind of start her storyline of what her intentions are, what she's looking to do, and maybe she'll have an interaction with someone and show us what kind of finisher she's working with.
Yeah, are
True.
they
My,
saying like Bianca or some shit?
I mean, if they start her as a face, I mean, she might work with Bianca and
Yeah,
then have Bianca turn heel because she's never really been heel. So that would be kind of cool. That's what I'd like to see in
yeah.
SummerSlam
On,
at
on the main
least.
on the main roster,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
she
would
was
be
like heel
cool.
all of NXT. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And she was good.
Yeah, she was a
I
good
thought,
heel.
and then like when they brought her into WWE, they just packaged her as like super
I
athletic,
feel
blah, blah, blah.
like
Kind of how
I
they're
feel like
packaging Jade.
I feel like they won't make her a heel though, just because like she just has that TV show where
Yeah,
like
you're
she's so
right.
likable on it. So like I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they'd keep her face.
They even made the Miz a face for when like his Miz and Mrs. run too for a lot of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that's why like everyone just started getting bored of him. They're just like, we want the scumbag back.
And they made something, what's the guy's name? Something knows best. Who was that guy? He got arrested.
Oh,
That
Hogan
TV
knows
show that used to
best.
be no, the TV show that used to be after Raw.
Chris Lee knows best.
Chris,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you know a show that used to be on after
He was a
Raw?
face and then he turned heel.
Yeah, a show that used to be directly on after Raw 2007 was Dr. Stevo, which if no
What?
one's checked out Dr. Stevo, you guys got to watch it. And it's the first episode since it went from directly Raw into Dr. Stevo. They have Farouk, they have Stevo show up at the end of Raw, and they have Farouk
Mhm.
throw him through a door, and then the Raw ends, but Stevo ends Raw going into the next show, and he's thrown out and like flying around, and it goes into his theme song that he raps himself. And what he
Wow.
does, the
10.
storyline for it is amazing. It's a fucking like 1,000, dude. He looks he's his job as a doctor is to de-wussify the U.S. and so he
Dang.
finds like three different guys, yeah, three
Guess
guys
it
every episode to make not a
guess it
wuss
didn't work.
anymore. Dude, he did pretty good. He basically, uh, he was onto something, but they stopped his work too soon. But that brings
I
us
would
into the
say
next
the
one.
Whippet Company stopped his work too soon.
Yeah, every episode he's more and more fucked up on drugs, so it gets even funnier.
Aw.
But
Hey,
yeah,
listen, he's
he
doing good
Dang.
now. We love you,
dude,
Steve-O.
he has a kid. He shows up to their houses and has them do something extreme, 3 different things. So he throws them out and they're done. And this kid, he goes to this kid's house. He's just, like such a nice, like dorky kid, and like he's like, "All right, you're gonna take a light bulb, smash it over your head, and cut your tongue open." And then he fucking yeah, he gets him to dude. It's disturbing. I'm like, how?
Why?
I was like, they got away with a lot,
Yeah.
2007, dude.
It's
But and
weird.
That's
like,
nuts.
yeah, dude, I'm trying. Like, they only have 5 episodes that you can
I
find
see
because they never went
why.
on DVD. But episodes
Oh,
6 and 7 are you can't find them anywhere. So there were 7 total, but 5 you can actually watch. So
you have to find the DVD somewhere then.
Yep.
they never put it out on DVD. They never released it.
Oh, they didn't. Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
never released. So like those 2 episodes are just lost to basically it's in a vault in Viacom somewhere. But
Yep.
We'll break in.
yeah. Well,
In the
leading us
vault, they threw it in
to
the fucking garbage, dude. They
uh
said delete this.
so bringing us over to Japan on the other side of the pond, Mr. Tanahashi watched one of the greatest movies of all time, and it made him want Zac Efron in NJPW. So, Zachy,
10.
what are you doing? It's a 10 for me. Zachy, come on, pick up
Ten.
the
He,
phone for Tanahashi.
he's got to put that muscle back on.
Yeah,
He was
he can
he,
tag with
he was
Chavo.
he was looking a little slim in Ricky Stenicki.
He was. He's just got to get back, grab the gimmicks again and get, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
inject that booty and get
Get
him
to
pumped
work.
up again. Yeah.
there was like the Chavo interview where he was talking about how Zach is probably most likely to be like
He could do it. He
could
would just
do
have
it,
to teach him for a match. Yeah, he would have to just do a little different training. That's why if they tag together, I think,
It'd have to be a tag, yeah.
and they should win the IWGP tag titles. I mean,
He's no
put him up.
Stephen Amell.
No, but you got to do what you got to do. He's no
You
Bad
guys
Bunny, but
ever
hey,
you guys
I
ever
don't
watch
know.
his show?
I
The
don't know who
wrestling
that
show?
is. Wait, let's see. Stephen Amell.
why
You
does that
hear me?
sound
I hope
It
Stephen
was like
Amell?
called
Why is it?
he
oh,
was
this guy.
he was Arrow and he was on All In, the
Oh yeah,
first
yeah,
All In.
yeah, yeah.
He
That's
was
right.
he the guy on Heels?
Yeah, as I said, heels. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was
He
gonna
appeared
ask.
in WWE too earlier in
Yeah,
his
he
career.
did. Yeah, he's like Cody's buddy.
Him
I
versus
never
Efron would be awesome.
I never watched the second season
Of
of
Heels, neither
Heels.
did I. No, I just wanted to see it because CM Punk showed up on it.
The first season wasn't bad.
Yeah, it
It
seems like
just
they're
took
going for like
them.
a Von Erich type thing, almost like a
Yeah,
family
kind of. Yeah,
in the South kind of stuff. And it's like if the
but
dad was out of the picture and they ran it themselves.
yeah, but they keep fighting with the brothers. See, that doesn't happen with the Von Erichs.
No, because
They,
they're like this, dude, real brothers.
they walk with their brothers. Don't turn their back on them.
Yep.
Damn. I want to
And
be with my brothers.
Fuck Stephen Amell.
so all 10 so
Real
far.
quick.
Next, yeah,
Zero.
Real quick,
zero.
let me drop one
Stephen
in here.
Amell. Yeah, throwing in.
Yeah.
Paul Walter Hauser beat
Paul
Matt
Walker.
Cardona. Now that we're
And
talking about celebs,
that's
in
tens.
wrestling.
That's
That's a
tens.
10.
10.
That's Ben 10.
Yeah.
Didn't
What were you
Bully
gonna
Ray
say
help
there,
him or
John?
some shit?
I think so. I did not
Zero.
see
Yeah,
it.
but
I
yeah,
did not
yeah.
see
Zero.
it.
Now it's gone to 0.
The
Yeah, Bully
match
Ray showed
involved
up.
both Bully Ray and Cardona's manager, Steph DeLanda. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The finish of the
Yeah.
match had Ray come into the aid of Hauser. That was
Yeah,
John
exactly.
Travolta reading that match summary for you.
Thank you, Mr.
-1.
Travolta.
Oh my god. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's getting worse.
Yeah. Moving on to the next rapid fire. Becky's contract up, I think, in 2 months. And she was also talking about an Ariel Helwani show how, like, in the past, she was like, because they're treating women so bad in WWE, she was just like wanted to go to TNA, which made me think about imagine
Yeah,
Becky if she had went to TNA like a few years ago. It would have been weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not
She would
going
have.
anywhere.
We would have never saw the man. Yeah, she's not. Her and Rollins both have contracts up around summertime. So and that leads into another contract thing. Is Matt Hardy? He, because his contract. He said he has a contract from AEW. He just has to sign it. And he says he wants to figure out how he wants to end his and Jeff's career and their legacy. So I think he's seeing if anything's open with WWE and maybe other stuff they might want to do and what that kind of
Mhm.
looks like. But I think he'll probably stay with AEW, and then in that case, it'll be a 10 for me.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like
we'll
they
see
should
what he
probably.
does.
I don't know where I stand with it. I feel like they
I
really
could
need
see
to
him either way.
have like a decent kind of Hardy story.
I mean, I wanted one with them, which is a really good story with them and the Bucks and fighting over the titles, which we were gonna get. So I mean, I hope it leads to that, and then like the Bucks win the titles in this tournament, and then we finally get the Hardys and Bucks thing, and the Bucks are just trying to get rid of the Hardys because they're trying to get rid of all the old wrestlers and fucking
Yeah.
they're just the
Mhm.
EVP legend killers. So like, I mean, the storyline's there, the potential for like a great pay-per-view match between both of them is there, and it's like them versus their little brothers, the Hardys. So like the Hardys versus Bucks is like in a big time pay-per-view, like in Vegas, perhaps would be for me. It would blow the roof off and be dope AF.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That
could
would.
even have Christian and Adam Copeland do it too.
I would love it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. I would love to see, and like Edge to show up because now he's like, I'm done with Christian, blah blah blah, and he's gonna do the Cope Open again, the Cope Open again, and
Yeah.
yeah, I think like definitely will kind of makes us forget about kind of their thing, and he's kind of saying like, yeah, that our storyline's over, but as I said, when Christian gets Judgment Day, like I think Edge is gonna come out, and we're gonna have that Macho Man Miss Elizabeth kissing and crying in the ring, and everyone's gonna just love it, and then we can get some wild shit like that, like Hardy's versus Edge and Christian, ENC versus the EVPs. You know what I mean? Like that's
Mhm.
dope. And while we're on contracts, AJ Francis is signed for the rest of the year at TNA. 10, but it's a -10.
We didn't cover Edge getting the TNT belt, did we?
That happened during our week off, and also Okada, got the title
Okay.
that week
Yeah.
too.
Continental
Yeah.
Crown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good
They
stuff.
did. They were calling it just the Continental title a lot on the show when
Oh,
they introduced him.
maybe this called the title then.
Yeah, well, I think maybe they're transitioning into that because it was getting a little confusing for everybody as to
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
exactly we're looking at. Um, but yeah, so those are some contracts we got going on now, and
Well,
then
real quick, maybe
yeah,
that's specifically called the Continental Crown, just how like the John Cena
the tournament
spinner
is
belt. No, I'm just saying. Like, oh yeah,
uh,
true. The tournament is
wasn't the
different, but
Continental Crown tournament, I guess is how they want to
yeah, it
put it.
makes sense. But I
They
was
would
just
no, they
trying
called
to.
it the Continental Classic.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I'm
right, and
saying.
they
Yeah,
were calling it
so
the
he's
Continental
the
Crown
Mad
belt.
King, so of
I
course
Yeah,
think
he would
it's
have the
I
crown
think it's
title.
the triple crown because he had three
yeah,
belts.
because he won the Triple Crown.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think they were just as confused as we were, and they were trying to figure out something that
Yeah.
made sense.
Yeah. Either
Um,
way, it's cool and we like it. 10.
yeah, and
It was
now
only
And
five, but
this is like a
another.
sub rapid fire segment called "Do We Want to Fucking See This?" Um, and the first one of those is Nemeth versus Del Rio for the vacant
no,
We don't
AAA
want to
mega
fucking see
title.
this.
I didn't want to
no,
see it during the fucking PG era, so we're getting a
I don't want to
PG
see it
Yeah.
10
era
years ago.
bullshit rematch. Exactly. I
Yeah,
did never wanted to see it. We don't want to see it.
yeah.
And
I want to
then
see Del Rio
also,
in general. Not
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, I want to see him
I want to see Jack Del Rio, the
in the
former head
in a
coach of the
dumpster.
Jaguars.
Yep. I want to see Nemeth versus Jack Del Rio. You're
That
right.
would be
Yeah,
cool.
Or Jack Del Rio versus Alberto Del Rio in a street fight, and
that'd be cool
Jack Del
too.
Rio
Actually,
goes over big.
Squash. Yeah.
Yeah,
10.
squash match 10. And
10.
then the other match is CMLL, and we've got Blackpool Combat Club with Seidel. He always sneaks his fucking way in somehow.
Yeah, Yuta's injured.
Yeah, Yuta's out, which Seidel's a cool replacement.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I get he works, right? He's
Hmm.
basically with the PG era WWE guys. That's all they are now, right? The PG
Kind
era
of.
boys.
Yeah,
Right? It's kind of fucking
kind
cool.
of is.
Honestly, they're full WWE now from the same era, which is kind of badass. Most of the guys are in that picture, and then well, that famous picture. I mean, Seidel is, and so is Brian, the American Dragon, and then yeah, Moxley, and then Cesaro is too, right? Or he's not? No,
I
he
think he
isn't.
is, isn't he?
Is he?
With
I was thinking.
Maybe he's not.
No, I was thinking that he was the tag title champ, but no, it's Cody and Kofi, I believe.
Ooh, it makes sense.
Yeah, the tag team that no one ever fucking will remember. Sorry, roller coaster. We don't remember it.
Man. Come on.
Come on, man. We don't remember it,
But
man.
yes, I do want to see that match.
Yeah, that's a 10 of something we definitely want to see. And then yeah, heading into another thing is Gunta celebrated. He's at 650 plus days as IC title champ, and he's had 100 title defenses, which I think is pretty lit.
That's crazy.
And right, 100 title defenses, and that's not even like because he's had plenty of other matches where it's like 3-man tag matches and tag matches and shit like that, and
Is that more than Roman?
non-title defenses. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go to my calculator, but I don't know. I think so. Because I count right, I think Roman's got like 6 last year, and
Well, I mean, just count every pay-per-view that he's on, and you'll have every.
yeah, every other
defense.
one basically. Yeah, he's usually on every other
true.
one.
He did tag
Yeah.
teams. He did tag team matches on View.
Oh, true.
We the ones, yeah.
So even less than that.
He doesn't have to. He's the one that moves the needle, dog.
This podcast has been intercepted by El Gringo.
Invasion angle.
Wow, what a good episode. In John Cena and I Hate Cyber Attacks.